Okay, so I'm going to swatch the Amazonite Genuine again, just on its own, like that. And then I'm going to put the other color, the Bauxite, on the other side. All right. Now let's start adding a little bit. So I'm going to pull out this Amazonite Genuine and just touch a little touch of Bauxite, because that already has neutralized it ever so slightly, but it did. And I'm going to add a tiny bit more, and you can see now it's sort of, or quite visibly changed actually. And then a bit more. It's starting to lean towards olive greens. And then we're going to bring in the more of the Bauxite, and that will start leaning towards kind of warm toned greens and then eventually browns. So let's see. There we go. So this is like a sepia color. And I'm just going to add the rest of it into here. And I think I might need tiny little bit more. That's it. So just this bit into here, and you can see it's much warmer now, and that is our final mix. Okay, so I have squeezed out all of the three colors here again into the dish. I have also switched to another brush, so this one is a little bit tricky to do small swatches. I didn't enjoy it as much. So I'm going to do a craft gray type of a brush which is flat, and it's nice and simple, and it works really well. Before we start mixing some neutrals, because I'm curious to see what kind of neutrals we could get, let's have a look a little bit up close on. So here are the swatches. As you can see, they're very, very beautiful. They actually haven't, like, these two colors have not separated as much as I thought they would here. However, in these swatches, they have done a bit of separating. So you can see around the first three mixes, more of the turquoise come through there. Here, not so much actually. The Bauxite seems to be quite a strong color, and I couldn't see any of it come through here. These mixes are very pretty. I really like this mix. In fact, I was playing in my other sketchbook, which I might show you. Yes, so I was playing in this sketchbook and I mixed these two colors together, so the Rhodonite Genuine and Bauxite, and I loved how they came out here. In case you're wondering what's this at the bottom, that's mine Blue Genuine, and it really looked quite yucky in my opinion, so I wouldn't waste it in mixes. But then if we flip to the other side, I quite loved this mix, which basically is Amazonite Genuine starting here, then we're going into the Jadeite Genuine, and then to finish I put some Serpentine Genuine around here. And basically those are the colors that came out. And these little dots, which almost look like they have been bleached into the paper, they in fact are just droplets of water that I added on top of the swatches. And yeah, they had a very strong kind of reaction towards those droplets. So that's another mix which I thought was quite beautiful. And there you go. Okay, so let's just try and wake this color up, which is a little bit yucky for me. I'm just going to add a touch of green to this. And let's just swatch them out on both sides like so, just to see the colors. And I'll just go ahead and add a bit more so that we end up at the point where we have basically all three colors and slight varieties of it. Like this, for instance, is a big surprise of a color. I didn't expect to have something like that come out, which looks really, really pretty, actually. And then we'll add a bit more of the Bauxite. And just keep on going, really. The aim generally is to get to like a dark gray or a black even. So let's see if we can achieve that. And then I will switch to this side. Now this is a pretty color like that. So them two together should get some lovely varieties. And then I think that if I add to this mix a bit of that mummy Bauxite, we should get quite a neutral color. This was now a bit too much, so I'll try to go back to it. Add more of the green. And then more of the pink. So that's a grey, or closer to a grey now. It is interesting that as they dry, they start to look a little bit unattractive. Generally, that happens to watercolors that have too many pigments in them mixed in. So if you get like a pigment or color that has more than two pigments, if you start mixing that with another color that has two or more pigments, you start to quickly multiply the pigments, and that usually ends up in a more muddier or like less interesting mix. So that's something interesting to think about. But yeah, these are obviously genuine, so it's interesting that they are behaving in a similar way to multi-pigmented colors. But there you go. So these are the natural, or the neutral rather, mixes. I can't write home about any of them now that they have almost dried. They looked very pretty when they were wet, but I don't like any of them. I did like mixing 2 colors at a time, however. Let's just zoom out. So yeah, I loved mixing them together. And it could be just that this particular trio doesn't mix nice neutrals. It could be that, you know, swapping one of the colors or swapping indeed all of the colors could give you other neutrals that would be more attractive. So that is it for part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will try and make some of your PrimaTeks and maybe, you know, find out some mixes that you really enjoy. Thanks for watching and see you soon.